Hey everyone, Ashley Bornancin here with the Red Carpet Report. Today we're at the Music Center in downtown Los Angeles at the 3rd Annual Celebration of Dance, supporting the Dizzy Feet Foundation, giving underprivileged kids a chance to dance. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. I'm Ashley. This is JD.
Hi. How you doing?
So obviously you're a huge advocate of dance.
Yes.
What does it mean raising all this money for the Dizzy Feet Foundation? How can this change people's lives?
It absolutely changes people's lives, for one thing, because there's so many talented people out there that can't afford, to continue their dance education. So I'm just so grateful that we have a foundation like that, and that there's more of these type of foundations around the country to inspire and keep young talent going, when they need it the most, actually, and that's usually when they, you find these little nuggets, these little stars out there, and they just have no financial means to obtain the kind of knowledge that we know that they need. So I'm just very grateful to be part of this organization, and very grateful, by the way, to be handing out the Annette Claiborne Award tonight, who is a dear friend of mine that passed away, and from now on we'll have a Ballroom Award scholarship, which we did not have last year. The year before, when we first started, we had one for the little ballroom dancers, and this year now I'm grateful that I have something to do with it and that it's actually happening.
What age does someone have to start, you think, in order, by their teens to be pretty good?
Yeah, that's a really good question, because there's so many of us that have started later in life, like Sonia at like 19, myself at 19, 20, Adam at 19. I think, if you don't have the means, but it's tougher, I think, in today's world because of shows like So You Think You Can Dance. There are a lot of kids dancing from the year, most of them, I think half our contestants, at least this season, told us they started when they were 3. Yeah. I mean, my goodness. So, but if you're out there, and I feel like you're, if the talent is there and you have a lot of heart and a lot of desire. I mean, look at Cyrus last year. Look at the way that kid grew. He never had a trained lesson in his life. And the same way with some of our dancers that we've had this season. So I think if you have a lot of heart, you can still do it. It's just going to be, you're going to have to put that much more effort into it.
As a judge, you obviously see so much talent, but what classifies the ones who should keep moving forward versus the ones who can't? Is it more about the passion, or?
It's a combination of everything. We look back when we take somebody off the show right now. I like to go back. I will have their entire history ready. I'll write that out for each contestant that has fallen down from the very first time that we've seen them, so that we're not just making a snappy judgment on the night, because one week you might have this and you're at the top of the world, the next week might not sit so well on you, but the next week you could end up having your biggest moment. I go back to Keon last year, who was falling down into the bottom. Me and Nigel kept saving him, and then eventually had his big breakthrough and then went on to win the show. So we have to really not jump fast, but think of everything that somebody has done, and not just, it's easy to react to a number that happened that night. So, and I hate that, because the audience is going to go, well, they were terrible tonight. But let's look at the whole body of work now since they've been on the show from the first audition. Were they sent straight to Vegas?
What would you want to say to all the dancers who, especially if they get eliminated early on in the season, to keep going? Do you recommend them auditioning again for the next season?
Well, they can if they're in the top 20. That's a done deal. Then it's on to your professional career, or going back to your professional career. We get a lot of kids now that are professionals trying out for the show. So, they're going to need a couple days to grieve over it, for sure, because it means the kids today we're getting have been watching the show since they were 9 years old, waiting for the day that they could be on So You Think You Can Dance. So the meaning is so much more today than it was 10 seasons ago. And they just have to brush themselves off like we all do. Mm-hmm. But we have to have that time for grief. And then we move on, brush ourselves off, and we hear the music, and all of a sudden we're dancing again.
I love it. Thank you so much. Thanks for watching the Red Carpet Report. If you like this video, be sure to like it, and for more interviews, subscribe. Leave me a comment below telling me who you think is the best dancer of all time. We'll see you next time.